Hey, welcome back. Earlier I was like, I'm gonna channel, and I did. And so then I'm like, now I want to channel again. So I keep hearing you pass the test. You've been passing test after test. And you may not even realize how much you've been growing and evolving as an individual because, you're just keeping the motion, but you're actually progressing and you're jumping many timelines. And it's like you went through a whole 360 moment. Like you're finally seeing things for the whole, full view. And you're coming into terms with, who you were, the roles you played, the influence that you were, and of what you're becoming now in this present moment, and how much more you want to be so intentional into this new beginning that you're stepping into, and how much more discernment you're wanting to bring into this new world. You at first with the last life that you had, you were a little bit naive, a little bit too careless, reckless. You didn't have really much of a strong idea of what a structure was or boundaries and whose voice or beliefs to listen to. So that did leave you in really tough, harsh situations because you didn't know whose voice to listen to. It was just a lot of white noise, a lot of chaos, and a lot of misleading information that led you into wrong situations. And so now because all these revelations are being shown, and you're finally listening to your intuition, you're finally believing the signs, the synchronicities, and how the universe is actually speaking to you through you. I don't have to be the one to actually tell you this stuff. It's literally shown either through your social media, through license plates, through music, through people, through certain synchronistic thoughts and downloads, and even through the epiphanies while you're going through the dark night of the soul, rediscovering yourself, doing the shadow work. It's with those moments where you're it's like a blindfold just ripped away from your eyes, and you're finally seeing the full truth for what it is. And you're finally getting to see yourself in the mirror and be this is who I've been. And then Spirit is showing you, okay, this is who have you been for a while. You're being presented this opportunity to restart and readjust, to recalibrate, to fix. Because the person that you were in the past was a broken person, a lost person, a person that was still unconscious, was still asleep, didn't have the full realization of what they were doing was, harmful. Now in this new world you're stepping into, you're in awareness, you're becoming conscious, you're being awakened. You've been shown a lot of your shadow through other people, and then people reflecting that back to you, so that way you can realize what you gotta heal from within yourself, so you can stop attracting those energies, so that way you don't get your energy siphoned or sabotage yourself. Because there's been times where it didn't have to be anybody from outside of you. You were sabotaging yourself because you didn't have the proper structures or boundaries, or even the discipline to begin with. You were just doing things without any proper instructions. And I don't blame you, because you are somebody that's very curious. You like to learn. And I do not blame you, but at the same time, there's always that reason why there's rules and regulations and boundaries, so that way you don't get yourself lost in the journey. So that way you don't get yourself misled or misinformed or stuck in stupid situations where how can you back away from this? A lot of it that I'm picking up is it's been spiritual warfare. A lot of the people try to blindside you by saying I know better, my journey it's way better than yours, and that's way far from the truth. Only you know within yourself when you're around the right people and in divine alignment. And before, you just know, but you second guess yourself when it comes to people and people's intentions. Off the bat, you can just pick up on people. But because you're so used to watering yourself down, like that, like you end up in these kind of friendships because like you're just like so stuck on their potential, so stuck on like, you know, they're a good person, like they wouldn't do me like that, or like, nah, it's just me, like, you know, I'm just probably like assuming or just, you know, imagining things. No, your intuition lets you know right off the bat, and you have to act accordingly. Your intuition would not be warning you about the environment, the people. Energy doesn't lie. It's right all there. It not may physically be seen, but it's there. There's something there. And you cannot deny it or pretend like it's not there. There's a reason why you're being presented that. And sometimes, like, yes, that could sometimes just be a projection of yourself, and it's just leading you to heal more within yourself. But if it's an ongoing thing and it's making you feel like uneasy physically, you should really just listen to yourself at that point. It's like you went and learned many lessons in regards to like the psychological way of how people operate. You're very good at pattern recognition. You're very good at reading people, reading the room. And in some instances, you were a people pleaser at some point. Because you didn't want to offend people. You didn't want to just like overstep. And Spirit's like, nah. We're fucking done. We're fucking done with this shit. We're not gonna put you in this position of leadership if you can't even be outspoken and open up and stand firm on your boundaries. Like, how are you gonna be able to defend others if you can't even defend yourself? How are you gonna be able to advocate for others if you can't even advocate for yourself? What kind of leadership are you presenting? How are you gonna want to inspire people to, like, you know, do good and better for themselves if you can't even do good or better for yourself? Like, go reevaluate like your fucking standards and come back to us whenever like you actually have applied it. Like, you have like a logical understanding of many of the lessons that I'm talking to you right now, but it's the practical stance. How are you going to apply in these situations and circumstances? How are you going to approach, you know, the communication, the empathy, the connection, the respect, the boundaries, the, you know, the emotional like involvement with you and another person? And how are you willing to like handle, like, you know, people transforming right in front of you? Like, are you going to be able to handle people changing right in front of your face because they're evolving and people are not meant to be staying the same? Like, are you going to be able to handle that? So Spirit's like saying, like, you know what, like, you're growing at your own pace, but we really do want you to learn how to implement this stuff for yourself first before you go and teach it to others. And, you know, teachers like know that they're their students are also their great teachers as well. You learn from them. And what better way of you, like, you know, being your own, like being a student, because everybody's in like art school. We're always learning. But it's really like, if you really want to make a big change into the world, like, you also have to be open to learning. And even learning about yourself and about others, because there's going to be so many different perspectives, so many different opinions, so many different ways of looking at the world, because everybody has different lenses. Everybody has a different history. There's people with different ethnicities that look at things very differently. But the whole matter of it is like, how can you connect and not let it break? It's all about the community. I'm getting the sensation like you are somebody that like has this past life with like, you do so well in community. Like, you're so good. You're someone that people like, you get so along with people. Like, it's just so easy. Like, you're just very cool. You might be the oddball out from the group, but they know like, yeah, this person's cool. They're fucking cool. Like, ain't no issues here. Like, it's really that kind of vibe that like I'm picking up from you. Other than that, like, you're very like intuitive and very creative. Like, there's so many creative outlets for you. It's just you having to, like, you know, dabble into it and like be patient with yourself. I'm seeing like 6s and 9s and 3s being very significant. 369. And it's also like there is a chance to quantum leap whenever you want. You're being shown the opportunity that yes, you can quantum leap. You can change your circumstances. It's just a matter of the fact of you believing in yourself. How worthy do you think that you can bring this into your reality, into your life? Yeah. I'm getting like Abraham Hicks in my mind. And it's that video, like everything works out for me. Everything's always like coming to me so easily. Like there was just this video, and it's like I would overplay that video. That video was so good at keeping yourself at a high like vibration. And I'm hearing like, you know, like it's like you have to reprogram your subconscious. Because if you don't reprogram your subconscious, it's still gonna be operating in the old world. You have to reboot this like computer. And I'm like in this visual, like your brain is like a computer, and it's time that you take out the viruses and restart your computer. And by restarting is by recalibrating yourself in alignment with the things that you actually want to align yourself with, and also the reality that you want to. And then also like talking to yourself nicely, because that's going to play a big role with you. Like the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you handle your emotions, the way that you treat yourself when nobody's watching is really going to be a big reflection in this journey. So be very gentle and very open with yourself. You don't want to close yourself off or have these big walls. If you're wanting to be a big receiver here, to receive big, you have to be open and ready to receive. If not, you're just going to be blocking away your blessings. And I'm feeling it in my chest because there is a blockage having to do with the heart chakra. Something must have happened at some point in your life that made you feel unworthy of receiving, and it's really like tainting a little bit of your blessings, and it's also blocking them off from attracting the desired world that you want to bring in. And I'm feeling it like slowly like expand as I'm talking about it. But Spirit's like, you really got to believe in us. You really got to believe that the universe is working in your favor. Like it's all having to do with belief. And I know right now, like there is times where like you zone yourself out and you believe like there's no such thing as spirit or something like that. And then there's times where you jump back and you're like, yeah, there is, because you see the synchronicities, you see all the signs. It's like you're in and out of your mind. And it's like this whole like bickering going back and forth. And I'm like in this visualization, like maybe in some part of your childhood you had parents that did that stuff. And so now you have it internally in your mind. But it's you versus you. You just gotta like make amends with yourself. Make peace with yourself. Forgive yourself. Let's see what the spirit team has to say. Don't worry, prosperity will be knocking on your door soon. And this is like for my fortune cookies. It's been a hot fucking minute since I've used them. Like with the whole moving situation, it's just like, but I like this. This reminds me of an old video. Because in an old video, I had this. This was like months ago. And I'm not sure if it was like on TikTok or on YouTube, but I remember the specific video. If you get my drift. But I don't even think it's up anymore. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it. Okay, and then the other one that I like that's been like very prevalent for me was let the opportunities come to you. Dead ass. Like if you're in your heart chakra, you're just receiving. Like you're not forcing anything. Things just come naturally to you. It just gravitates. You shouldn't feel any resistance. And if you're pushing on something or forcing something, then you're really like you're working against yourself. Because here's a tidbit. Whenever it comes to manifestations, and I've even proven it, and me and my coworker are talking about this. when it comes to manifestation and you're thinking about something, the moment you let it go and you forget about it, it's the moment when it comes in quickly. Because the more you fixate, the more you're thinking about it, you're clinging onto it. You're holding on to it. You're putting attachment to it. Whenever you put attachment to it, you're leading yourself to disappointment and you're not letting it flow. You're holding on. And another thing that I was talking about today is showing gratitude for what you already have. Because a past version of yourself was manifesting the stuff that you have going on right now. So gratitude is going to play a big role. The more grateful you are, the more you're going to be attracting. Like I was literally like being grateful for my car, even if it's not in the greatest conditions. A younger version of myself was wanting to have something, just something to drive, something to like, navigate and take me from point A to point B. And I would still be grateful for it because it's still serving me. It's still helping me out. It's still keeping me protected from the sun, from the rain, from the wind. It's helping me get from work to home, and even to the grocery stores, and even sometimes like to go see my family. Like, it is still a big factor. Same thing with your shelter, guys. Be grateful in the bed that you're sleeping in, because not many people have a bed, and the things that we have right now, we tend to take it for granted. So be grateful that we have a bed. Be grateful that you have clean air to breathe. Be grateful that you even have water to drink. Be grateful that you even have a place to take a shower and to go take a dookie in your own privacy. Be grateful that you're not outside in this weather, and this hot blazing weather with the mosquitoes or with the rain. Be grateful that you have, your journals, your books, your phone, your technology. The more gratitude that you show, the more you expand and raise your vibration. And this is how you start getting rid of like the lack. And lack has been something that, I've seen and have experienced. And that also goes for complaining. Don't be complaining. Whenever you're complaining, you lower your vibration. Don't be complaining. I know, like, as normies at times, like, it tends to happen, especially in normal workplaces. But as long as you're being like intentional and watching yourself, the more and more you're gonna be taking yourself out of it. It's just really you putting that intention out there, and even like letting people around like, hey, I don't want to talk about this. I don't feel like complaining. It's gotta be felt. Like lead by example type deal. And that's something I've been doing. Like for me, like what I've noticed is like the cooking, the homemade food meals. I went from like ordering food or just going to HEB to like, I'm making myself meals. I'm drinking more water. I gotta drink more water. And then boom, they're making meals. They're taking care of themselves. And I'm like, okay, cool. Again, your vibration speaks. If your vibration is like at a high caliber, people are either gonna drop or they're gonna raise up with you. So yeah, it's kind of remind me of like certain situations. And I think I derailed myself with the whole channeling right now, but it's still part of the gist. This new era of your life, it's really about how intentional and how bad do you want it, and how much do you want it, and how much are you willing to like, show your gratitude and expand on it, and allow yourself to be ready to receive without blocking it or like, putting your walls up. Because at the end of the day, even when you do have it or you don't have it, you're still worthy. You don't need to have like, the $1 million to say that you're worthy, or the name brand clothing to say that you're worthy, or the luxurious car to say that you're worthy. You're still worthy regardless. And that is going to be something that I'm already picking up, like, you got to work on. You got to work on. It's reminding me of this one time with the singing. I was like, I am worthy. Ugh. Popping jokes. I was ready. Oh my god, it's reminding me of the stupidity in it. The memories. The memories. But yeah. I feel like that should be all for the reading. I wish you guys a great rest of your night, and thank you for tapping in for the channel. If this resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, do not force it. Don't even bother forcing it. This reading may not be for everybody. You know, it is what it is. Okay? All right. Night.